People can jump on at any time. Let's start on up here. So there was no music this time, yeah?
There was no music. Michael, you could have sang. Do you sing? Do you have any musical abilities?
No, unfortunately not.
Well, hello everyone. Michael and
Hey,
I
everyone.
are going to do a really different masterclass. So you all know Michael is newer to Velocity. He's doing a fantastic job. And the feedback, Michael, on your training has been so awesome. So thank you so much. We all appreciate your support and all of your training. For us, Velocity is a universe, a mortgage universe in which to work in. And the universe that we work in is critically important to our success. So we're very, very grateful. And Michael and I thought it would be kind of fun. So Michael's perspective is really training. He hears a lot of feedback and questions, issues, and comments from all the agencies Velocity. My perspective is a lot more on people who are really digging into the system, have a lot of knowledge, and also I am a mortgage agent. I'm a broker owner. I train and coach my team. I have 2 admin staff. So we have these really different perspectives on what we kind of hear in terms of feedback. And I feel like there's a lot of questions in around these really great add-ons. So let's be really clear. The core functionality of Velocity is absolutely at no cost to any mortgage agent who is signed up and is working inside of Velocity. But then we have these really cool add-ons, these extra features, the features that are paid features. And Michael, let's dispel any myths. Let's dig into how the features really work. Let's really talk about the costs. And I want to really get into some of the ways that I know that these features are adding a huge amount of value to the businesses of other mortgage agents, to our clients, and you guys, let's not forget, to our lender partners. So what do you want to start with, Michael? What do we dig in? Which features should we go to first?
Firstly, let's have an overview of what we'll discuss today. I think we'll discuss them all. There's 4 really critical ones, and then we'll jump into SMS as well as a feature. And I think we'll leave that one for last because it's very different to the first 4. Essentially, we'll jump on into Easy Account. I'll jump in there now. We'll look at some of the costs. We'll look at setting that up. We'll look at how we'll go about that. The other one is eSign. I'm not sure how many people on this call are using Easy Account, but we'll jump in there and just look at some of the benefits to mortgage brokers. Remember, again, I'm training the system. I'm training how to use it. It's great to have a conversation with people that are actually out there doing the actual job. So that'll be great. And then we'll look into eSign just in terms of how that's set up and the benefits there. The other 2 I want to look into is the Opto validation. Now, we did have a masterclass on Opto, but I want to jump into the system here and just look into how that is done, how that is actually generated. And then Julie, you and I can just have a quick discussion in terms of the benefits and how this can actually increase efficiency and so forth. And the last one of the core 4 would be NOAs. And the reason I left that one for the last of the core 4 is just because it's newer. So I'm going to show you how we can just take some of that stress away. As I said in my video, if you have watched it, some of the stress of those text documents away by a simple, easy 1 click. So I'll look into that, how we do that, and how we set that up with the providers that we have. And then I guess towards the end, we'll focus in on SMS. Great. So we'll start out with the Easy Account. Let's start here.
Do you know what? I think a lot of brokers are talking to me saying, what the heck is Easy Account? And the heck we have eSign and Easy Account. If you're not using all those extra features, sometimes even that wording is confusing. Is it fair to say that Easy Account access is a very simple way for me as a mortgage agent to offer to my client the ability, with their permission, that I would be able to literally access the bank account statements I need to prove their down payment? Is that a pretty simple way of defining it?
It's a pretty simple way to see it, and also pretty much just the idea of the hassle being cut out of actually dealing with the bank. So not cutting the bank out entirely, but also just take out the hassle of the bank and getting getting access to those accounts. Let's look strategically here. Let's look at how we were going to get all of these features. If I go to, is my screen, no, I haven't shared my screen. Let's do that. That's important. So if I jump on into my Velocity here, I go to me and I go to my settings page. open up my settings page. All of the add-on features can be found down at the bottom when we have our purchase product section. Just go down to add from there. Just while I'm in here, you'll be able to see the account, the products that you have purchased and what you've been used, on your account, what is used, what is left over, and what you have in total.
Michael, you know what? I didn't know this. So
really?
wow. No, I didn't. I mean, I didn't know this. Oh my gosh. Every time we do a call, you teach me something. So if you want to, this is showing you what you have access to. It's showing how much you've used. And do you just click that little green add button if you want to add a feature?
Click the add one. It will take you back to your login screen and all your add-ons are here.
Okay.
So you can see them all outlined over there, and we'll do easy account access for our first one. And over here, you can see the price. So that's an idea of what it's going to cost you. For 5 users on your easy account access, that would be 25 Canadian for a year. That's to add 5 people. And then to get 60 people for the larger brokerages, that would be 225 per annum over there.
Okay, so I have a question about that because I have not yet used easy account access. I'm going to, I promise you. I'm going to be a good student, Mr. Masters. So tell me a little bit more about this cost. When you say 5 easy account access uses, do you mean on 5 mortgage applications or 5 times you would request the client's accounts? What do you mean by the 5 uses?
5 actual requests for a easy account to get into a person's account.
And does that include like more than one? Like what if they have a TD bank account and an RBC bank account and a checking and a savings account? Like what if they have multiple accounts? How does that construe with the word uses?
So with that one use will actually be whatever accounts they choose. They can give you access to any amount of accounts in one go. I think it's easy if we jump into easy account to see that and how it works.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That's great. So perfect.
But yeah, we'll do that in a moment, but just to give you an idea, 5 for 25, and then you can get 60 for 250. Just to give you an idea of what you actually pay for these.
Right, and this is if you choose the add-ons individually, right? We're talking about the cost you see right here, or if you decide let's say you only want to use easy account access, or you only want to use the SMS texting. We're talking about individual options for each feature. We also have, of course, our bundled option. So we'll do the individual costs first, and then we'll talk a little bit about the bundling.
Cool. So you can bundle those up in terms of the actual getting them all in one. I think that may be better if you're going to go about using it that way, but it may not be. It may be better to get them separately and figure out strategically how it is that you're going to go about it. Nevertheless, if I was in the conditions and documents section to set up for my bank statements, firstly, obviously I need to create a placeholder for these things. So the first step would be to actually get that going down to your conditions and then adding a place for my bank statement. I'm just going to go ahead and put that condition in there just so we have a home for that. And then we can go ahead and use that. So firstly, I would select what I'm dealing with. Select a borrower. Obviously, I've opened up an account with more than one borrower, so we can see that there are 2 borrowers. So select who we're going to get it for. And there is your easy account icon over there. So go ahead and select that. And when we do that, we can have 2 options over here. Firstly, you're going to the customer is going to allow you to have access to their bank account. So either they can be with you right now, or you can ask them to log in and give you access to those accounts. So when they're with you, it would be going to actions and scrolling down to under the easy account access. You can access it for either one of your 2 applicants over there. Over the year, we have Elaine and Jerry. So either one of the 2 we're choosing, and we can go on in and they can give us access. Well, at least they can get access to it. And they'll log in.
Do you mean by with you if they're actually in a meeting with you? Is that what you mean?
I mean face to face.
Okay.
Right. Then they can log in from this way. The other way, and I'll return back to this in a moment. The other way that they can do it is for them to go ahead and give you those statements and log in on their own end or on the other side. And that can be done by simply just sending over an email from conditions and documents. And then when you click on the easy account access, it will work the exact same way on their end. They can log in and give you that access to those accounts from there.
Okay, so I've not done this. So I'm going to go back through this to make sure everyone understands this. Most people are not with us. So let's go with that option 2. They're at home. You're at your home office. They're in their home. You're going to create the condition, which is bank statements, right?
Yes.
We have you clicked on that condition to choose it. You clicked on the icon for easy account. Now, remember everyone, you won't see that icon until you actually pay to have access to easy account. That's something that confused the heck out of me. I'm going to say that again. You won't see the icon until you actually pay to have the access. So once you pay, choose the 5 options, right? Maybe to start with, choose the 5 options. You'll see that easy account. You're going to click on that cute little icon that Michael clicked on. You see how it's turned green. And then he's saying you would choose this condition, right, Michael? You would go to actions and you would send this in an email to the client requesting documents for conditions. When the client receives the email, you're basically saying they have a little button that they click. When they click it, they can access that list you just showed me of RBC and TD and all those lenders, and they can give you access.
What happens is when they access the email and they click that little button, this will open up for them. It's going to look exactly the same, just inside the client portal. So when they're inside the client portal, you know how you drag and drop or upload documents, right? They can then just click on easy account access and access it the same way. So they just go ahead and choose their bank that they're banking with and log in the exact same way that they log into their bank accounts with the username and password that they use on their bank account. So this is just a play.
They aren't telling you their password. They are putting in their own password for security. Because I'm thinking about sales. How am I explaining this to my client? I'm explaining that you're not providing your password or even your login to me. You are actually in control of signing in and putting in your password, and you are going into your own online banking system to provide me with permission to access those account statements.
That's a good point there. So having said that, it's important to know that they need to have online banking set up. If they don't have online banking set up with their institution, this is not going to work.
Okay.
So this is pretty much, in simple terms, just a link for them to be able to go into online banking, get those statements for you, and put it straight into Velocity.
Okay, great.
And then obviously they'll just log in the exact same way that they do, and that's that. So when they jump on in, they'll be able to collect those statements, and now we can get to this point where they can tell you exactly which account. So I'm inside Easy Access now, and your question was, what if I have more than one account? So they can select exactly which accounts inside here they want to give you access to, and you can see that there's a blue little selection triangle, rectangle around it. So it won't give me checking account in my US, checking account in my Canadian, maybe line of credit, whatever they want, and just hit continue. So over here, they can tell you exactly what it is that they want. And that will be one use, yeah?
Very cool.
From there, you'll be able to see that inside of your Velocity account, and you can access it. Now, it used to be 4 months. It is now, we can access up to 12 months of banking information there for them.
Yeah, and so there's a question that said, are all banks available? Like if you go, RBC, TD, Scotia.
Yes.
What if, all the big ones, I'm assuming. What
all
about
the big ones?
Like credit unions? It's going to depend on what?
Well, the credit union ones, we've got, again, that's going to be pretty much 90% of them. It's just the really tiny ones that we won't have access to. You can pretty much think of these lenders that don't have online portals are the ones that we don't have access to.
Okay.
That's pretty much the best way to put it.
Right.
But all the big banks will be able to.
So I'm going to make 2 suggestions in terms of sales, and you're showing us how we do this, but we have to figure out how we position this as mortgage agents. How do we explain this to our clients? What I would say to the client is, I have the ability for you, my client, to provide me with permission to actually access your account statements. I don't see your login. I do not see your password. I will send you a link. You will be able to log in. You'll be able to enter your password. That is all private. I do not see that. You will choose out of all of your accounts, which accounts to allow me access to. When you complete this process in the future, I don't have access again. Is it fair to say this is a one-time deal? You give me access once, you tell me the accounts that I should have access to, I have access, but it's not that me, Julie as a mortgage agent, I don't have continuing access to future bank account statements. It's a one-time permission. Is that correct?
So the easier way to see it is it's similar to them doing it in the comfort of their own home and doing their online banking. It's that secure. So when you're sending them that link, they're logging into their online banking, getting the information that they need. The only thing is it's coming into Velocity. That's it. I can't access it at any other time. It's one time. It's them. When they log off, it's exactly the same.
Right.
And if they're in front of you as well and doing it that option, they're going to type in their username and password and log into their own bank in the exact same way. The only difference here is that those documents we're requesting come straight into Velocity, and we'll see them here. They look like that.
Okay. Lee is asking an interesting question. I did this. It worked basically wonderful. And but it would only pull 1 month of statements. Is there a setting on their end the client needs to change, or can I resend the request? My thought on that is that the client only gave you access to 1 month. Maybe they were confused by that. Is that what you would say on that, Michael?
So what I would say is resend the request. It pulls 12 months on here. So the client obviously would have only given the access for 1 month. So just resend the request and ask them to redo it for the 12 months. It'll be on their banking, whatever bank they're using, and give the access for 12 months.
And does the resend mean you're using up another one of those credits?
It does at this point, yes.
Okay. So Crystal Donnelly has a great suggestion, and so do I for this. Crystal is saying, from what I understand, is it's basically just saying, would it be simple to say to the client, it's literally just saving you time in not having to download to then upload the exact statements I want. As soon as you give me this access, the statements will pop into your document list in Velocity. So it's really just saving them the download then upload time. That's a great way to define it.
It's a good way to define it, but you just have to remember there just to make sure that it's a one-time access and it's the exact same security. I think people will be worried about the security, obviously. They're giving you access to everything they have in terms of their financial business. So it needs, I think, just accentuate the fact that it's exactly the same as them logging on to the online banking from their own home. The only difference is it comes into Velocity now. That's it.
I have a suggestion George has one too. He's saying we want to be really clear that we're telling clients whatever you need. Again, everything in our universe, everything in our mortgage world, we will receive if we ask in the appropriate way. So if we're saying, please click in and log in, and we're not saying we need you to give us February, March, April, June, July, August, the last 3 months, the clients are always going to know exactly what we need. One way that I think we could solve that, and this is one thing we often do, is in the little descriptor where it says to speed up the process, you can use Easy Account. You could literally start that or finish it by typing in, I need access to June, July, and August statements for your entire $75,000 of your down payment. We could add some descriptors to be really clear. I think if you put that in and you're really clear, we're not going to have any issues with clients just giving us 1 month, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Awesome. Perfect. I love this. I'm committing, Michael. I'm doing this. I'm going to try it. I can do it. We can all do this. Like, the future's here. This is such an amazing tool. I don't think I had any idea how easy and streamlined that the Velocity's made this. This is really cool.
So just to get an idea, it pretty much just looks exactly the same as all other documents do, Julie. So if you're in the account, you can do the exact same things with it as well. Once you pull that statement, you can view it. You can split it up into different the same with a long PDF. If it's from different places, you can split it, you can move it, you can merge it, all those different things as well. So it's pretty much just becomes a document once it's in here, and you can see that and have access to it.
Very cool. You can rename. You can move things around. You can remove.
It's just a document. It's just everything that you want in terms of dealing with a document you can do from here as well.
Yeah. And what about, can you only, and here's what I think the answer is, and you tell me, can you only obtain, June, July, and August? Can you tell the client to choose this date, like June 15th to July 15th, or is it really only that it is essentially their online banking account statement, so it goes month by month, not a date to a date?
So they can select which ones they want to give you access to, and you can go ahead and they can go ahead and say, I want to give you access to this, this, and this, and then pop that on, and it comes straight in here. So whatever they want to give you access to, you'll get.
Yeah, I want everyone to
Yeah.
understand that though. I was a banker before I was a mortgage broker, and Crystal's question is you can't say to the client, send me June 7th to July 7th. It's whatever your statement dates are, right? It's going to
Yeah.
be your statement date. It's not sort of a real time cut and pull this date to this date and this date to this date. It is your bank. It is your bank account statements. So it's not going to be to Crystal's question. I don't think you're going to be able to say, I want exactly 90 days back from today. What you're asking for is the previous 3 months bank account history. Okay.
So from date to date
Yeah.
on
Okay.
on the statement.
Great.
Exactly that.
Well, I'm impressed with this. Okay. So every time you send that request, let's go back to being really clear here. Every time you send that request, you're using up one of those accesses, right?
Yes.
So if you have two clients on an application, you have a husband and wife, partner, when you're sending this to each different person because they're logging in, that's two requests. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, good. I just want to be clear on the cost. So I'm quickly going, you know what, that the bulk, the bigger amount, if you try it 5 times and you love this, mathematically, you guys, it's going to make sense to quickly consider the bigger amounts. And then secondly, mathematically, it's going to really be a good idea to consider the bundle, right? So as soon as you decide you like it, you can upgrade. And Karen had a great suggestion. Like, try it on yourself, right? We all have test accounts. We've taught you all that you all need an account that has your own name and your own email. Do this by the 5 options, by the 5, and then send this to yourself, and then log in as if you're logging into your own online banking and experience this as your client would. That's the only way for us to feel super confident and comfortable in how we present things, if we experience it as our clients will.
That's a great way to go about it. Definitely.
Yeah, this is really cool. Okay. Anything else you want to tell us about easy account access?
No, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to pop in here and show you that you can view it, split it, and move it about.
I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed. Yeah, I had no idea it was as simple. I think I thought, we always get nervous, and I'm nervous. I mean, I'm hosting Masterclass, and you all know I'm pretty obsessed with velocity, and I love it so much, and I know a lot about the system, but I'll admit I still get really nervous about trying something new because it feels intimidating. So I need to practice this on myself at least once, and then I just need to, pick and choose the client. When you have a young couple, let's say, who are comfortable with online banking, who are getting statements online, and you have a good rapport, wait till you have the right people. This is not something I would do with a client who's 64 years old, right? Mm-hmm. This is something I would start with my millennial clients, my younger clients who are tech savvy and really comfortable. You want to have rapport, and you want to say to your client, I think, I tried this myself. I just tested this on myself. It was really neat. I was able to log into RBC where I bank and do my checking and savings accounts are there. And I literally gave it a whirl, and it took me, 2 minutes of time. And then if you have any challenges, it's okay. Just stop and send me a note. You want to give people an out if they go, oh, this doesn't feel comfortable, or, oh, I'm feeling stressed about this. So you want to position it well, and you want to give them an out as well to say, give me a shout if there's any challenges. Yep. Very cool. Love it. Okay, what's next?
All right, let's look at eSign. That's a great feature as well. I just thought I'd pop in and just mention it. Let's go back into our add-ons here. We have eSign down at the bottom, just to give you an idea of the costs involved with eSign. Now, obviously due to the COVID pandemic and so forth, these costs have increased, obviously, since COVID hit, I think by a large amount, in my opinion. But this is the amounts that you're looking at here. For 5, you're looking at 25 Canadian, and for 60, 225. And for obviously your high volume transactions, you're a little bit more. There's the $300 bundle that you can add on in here. But that pretty much works out to $5 per transaction.
Okay. And what does the high volume mean? What does that really equate to in terms of how many eSigns?
Well, I'm not entirely sure exactly how many you get in there, but the bundle was obviously just designed for those that want to exceed the 60.
Okay.
There's no real number attached to it as of yet. It's just your high volume ones.
Okay. Yeah, great.
So yeah, it's pretty much gone up in the last year, really. But you're looking in and around $5 if you look at the first one exactly, it's about $5 per time you're going to sign off a document. So you got to make sure that you get all your documents that you need e-sign all in that one go. Because the thing is, once you send it off and you need to do it again for a different document, that's going to be another transaction, of course.
Okay, so you want to maybe try it out, like, as we said last time. I don't think people should go popping into the 225. I think they should do the first, if you have not used eSign before. Again, I really think just give it a whirl. There's one of two options. You could just choose the 5 options and see how it feels for that month, see how it works for you. If you really love it, then you can say, okay, I'm going into the next option. And if you also really love it, and maybe you also try Easy Account Access and you really love that, make a note in your calendar when you start trying new features. Here's what I'm going to do. Making a note tomorrow, I'm going to try Easy Account Access. I'm going to remind myself at the beginning of, let's say, we're almost at the end of October, just November 1st or even December 1st, review the details in Velocity so that maybe then somebody wants to move into the bundles, right? So just don't forget to go back and make an edit or make a change or consider the bundle if you start using all the services. The reality is, when I look at that bundle cost, I think it's so cost effective to do the bundle, to be honest. So I think it's something that people should really consider, is bundling up all these services.
Yeah, I definitely think that if you do see the benefit in them, it's a good idea to bundle them up. But it's definitely going to save you a lot of money in the long run. All right, so if we jump on in, let's have a look at the e-sign. So all you do with e-sign is you got to select which document is going to be signed in itself. Now with e-sign, I can sit here and talk for an hours, but this is not exactly a training session. But I do want to point out that with the e-sign, you got to decide, you got to set it up in such a way that you have, for example, compliance and all your compliance documents that have to be signed in there, and your own office documents. Now, the good news is with compliance documents in eSign, we have set them up on Velocity. So if you have a compliance document in there, Velocity will know exactly where the signature and date and initials need to be placed. You don't have to worry about those that are obviously made within the system. Okay. But if you have your own document, you still need to let us know exactly where that signature is going to go. So for an example, if you have a document of your own that needs to be signed, I'm just going to use this example that I have over here. You select the document and you need to select the e-sign as well. Don't forget to do that. And then obviously which document needs to be signed. Now, if it's a document from within Velocity, that will already be selected for you. But because this is not, we need to say which document needs to go on to eSign. And then again, simply just go on to Actions and find eSign and ask for those documents to be signed. Now, when you go and obviously choose yourself as the agent or whoever's going to do it. And then obviously you need to let the system know who's going to be signing this. If anybody is, if there's more than one lender, it will pop up here. You just clicking in the blank space, you'll be able to see the other lenders. And also, if you want to go ahead and send this e-sign document off to somebody else. Now, a great example of that is a gift letter. Ooh, maybe if a gift letter comes from mom and dad, you just add them in there and add the email address, pop on add client, and that can go.
Michael, you're showing off now. That's pretty cool. I love what you just said. Did everyone hear that? You can literally, on a gift letter, that's such a great idea. You can literally add in the parent. So you would say to your client, give me mom's email, give me mom's first name and last name and email address, and I can send this gift letter to you and also include mom by just, so mom's not on the app, right? You can just pop mom in there, first name, last name, email. I think that's such a win for our clients. For you, you're removing the hassle of your client having to go to mom and dad and get something signed and scan and email and this and that. So I didn't know you could do that. Actually, I have not tried that yet. I love that.
So cool. Mom and dad can sign online, and also you can also just email it off to mom and dad, and if they want it, they can print it out and sign it if they want to do it that way as well. So that's great, because obviously mom and dad may be old school and they don't want to do the electronic one.
That's right.
They can print it out too.
We have a comment, Michael, that the high volume package, Amy's commenting that it looks like 250 uses. So you guys, that's a lot of uses. I mean, let's think about eSign. Let's think about this. This is really just our credit consent / service agreement. This is our mortgage commitment. This is our gift letters. You know, we don't always have a ton of things that need to be signed. So that's a pretty large amount, right? For
Exactly.
not very reasonable cost. And someone else said you can also share the e-signs with other agents on your team, right? So you have your credits and you can
Yes.
share them, right?
So you can share the credits with people with regard to e-sign, just not the bundle in itself over the whole office. Otherwise, you just need to buy one.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, that's great. And you can add yourself if you need to sign the document. I hadn't thought about that either. Thanks, George. You can
Yes.
actually add yourself. I love that. Oh my gosh, I feel like Michael, I'm learning so much today. I'm gonna have to get a gold star for learning. You're giving us all the good tips and tricks. Thank you.
Yeah, again, I just want to try and condense everything into one, and yeah, just hit submit, and when you're done, you got to. This is the thing about if it's your own document, right? You got to tell the system where you want that signature to be placed.
Right.
So when the client receives it, you would need to tell them where to sign. So if it's somewhere down at the bottom, you got to tell them to put their signature in down at the bottom.
Great.
So you can just drag and drop and resize so however you want. You can add initial, signing date, and everything and so forth, but just drag and drop.
Very nice.
Now it does get to a point where you may want to choose yes or no, or maybe, and you'll do those with the utilization of radio buttons, which you can add as well. But again, that's going to, I can speak for an hour on how to put that in, but you get radio buttons as well. So it's either yes or no, and you just got to program it to do that as well. So you can pretty much set your document up for them to fill it out exactly the same way you fill out compliance forms as well.
Right. And we've all been using eSign, and a lot of us have used DocuSign or Sign Now or all these things previously to using Velocity. The systems are really in many ways very similar. So just remember, everyone, what Michael's saying is the radio button is going to allow you that sort of yes or no, which I'm assuming, Michael, what do you think about check boxes? Can you use the radio button for it? We have some things on the mortgage commitment that are a check box. Do you think that's a good piece of it?
It's a great way to go about that as well. So the radio buttons are a good idea. If you want, I can obviously send on just jump on the training for eSign as well. That's with Michelle. It's a good idea.
Encourage everybody to do that. I think your training on eSign is fantastic. And there's a lot of moving parts in eSign. So anybody who wants more experience with eSign, Michael has great recorded sessions. The video content's great, and there's live sessions. So you can just pop onto an eSign session. I think it's worth the time to really dig into all of those date, text, tech, field, radio. I think it's really worth doing the formal, proper training on eSign.
I think it's worthwhile. The live session would be a great idea, in my opinion, because then you can hop on and speak to us and ask questions directly in the moment, rather than watch the recording and have a question in your head. Now you got to write it down. So there's a lot we have. That's exactly why we have the live session. So I'd encourage everybody to sign up for those and jump on in there.
Okay, great. Very cool.
Get these details out of the way. I want to mention that with regard to this is eSign for now. DocuSign is something that is coming, and that's all I want to say. It's coming.
We gotta hassle you now, Mr. Master. So I want everyone to hear what Michael's saying. There is going to be in the future someday, we are not promising what day, but we are saying into the new year, Jeff and Kevin and the entire team at Velocity have been very focused on listening to all of our agents and everyone who's using the system. And there's been a lot of people who say, I love DocuSign. I think it's really slick. It's really easy. It's really simple. I'm really comfortable. Realtors use it often. Our clients are already experienced with it. It's a very common signing platform. So, Jeff and Kevin are listening. They're always listening to our feedback, and they're very focused on seeing that we can get two options. So eSign is one kind of signing system, and DocuSign would be another. And we're not going to make any promises or dates, but Michael and I are certainly saying there's some exciting news that will be coming with DocuSign in the new year.
So yeah, we're definitely working in on that one as well.
Did we just keep ourselves out of trouble there, Michael? We're not in trouble. We didn't overpromise and underdeliver. We're saying we're working on it.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Working on it. It's coming soon.
Cool.
We're listening, in other words.
Yeah.
But I would encourage everybody to jump in on this, just for example, to set this up as well. That's click to sign that you need to actually set to capture signature. And that's obviously so that they can use the pin pad on their computer or with the mouse, or on their phone, they can use their finger, and they can capture the signature. And that the only reason for that is not with the click to sign. It's going to change it into that signature writing when you just type the name. And some lenders, at least I think most lenders, are not going to accept that. So it's got to be on. It's got to be on capture the signature, so they can actually physically make the real signature.
Oh, I like that tip. Okay, that's great. We have a question. I don't know the answer to this. Do the credits for Easy Account and eSign, do they expire in the year if you don't use them?
They do. They expire.
They do. Okay, so Nicole, they do expire. So again, everyone, I want you to. This is again, Michael. I'm going to go back to thinking. I really feel when I hear that, the bundle's the way to go. You know, the bundle is the way to go. You guys, come on. It's giving us for $89 a month. Quote me, tell me if I'm wrong, but $89 a month to access all of these fantastic services. And that's, I mean, you guys, $89 a month. It's unbelievably reasonable for all the services that we're seeing here. Or, you know, start small. Start with trying out 5 of this or 5 of that. When you get to the end of them, then you go, you know what? I really enjoyed Easy Account. I really liked eSign. And more importantly, let's not forget, my client really liked eSign. My client really liked Easy Account. I'm now going to do the monthly bundle, or I'm going to go to the next, you know, the next level.
So yeah, that will be a great way to go about it. I think just get a feel of whether it is that you're going to use this or not. I think everybody's different, right? So the bundle's a great idea if you want to jump in there and get it all. It will definitely be a money saving option. $89, yes. Rajiv, are you asking if everything is unlimited? No, there are limits to all of these transactions. So.
There was caps, but you know, Michael, I have not talked to anybody. And I talked to a lot of high performers. I talked to a lot of great mortgage agents. I have really not talked to anybody who's run out, right? And in the $89. And if you do, for some reason, you know, if you're, guys, I'm going to be really blunt here. Are you ready for this? If you use the $89 bundle, and if you run out of eSign credits, you are doing so much darn business that you're not going to be sad about adding on. You're not, you guys, if you run out, you're really, really not going to be sad about that, because your profitability is incredibly high if you're using that many. Now, also be careful. You again, if you need to position to your client what's coming at them, right? You need to be really clear on what you're asking them to sign. You need to make sure their email address is correct. I heard someone say, well, it went to a wrong email. And I went, well, but you're the mortgage agent. You need to make sure that, obviously, for data integrity and know your client purposes, you need the client's proper first name, last name, the right phone number, the right email address. So, just be cautious that if it's the wrong address, that's not really Velocity's fault. You need to make sure the data integrity is there. And I just think that bundle is going to be the way to go. How do I register for the bundle? Can you show us that, Michael? What if we want the bundle?
So inside the add-on section is all your add-ons. And if you want the bundle, you just pretty much go to add or renew your subscription. And there you have your Velocity Essentials and your Enhanced. So jump on in and choose one of the two. The Enhanced bundle is the $89, and you can upgrade to Enhanced from here.
Oh, that's so easy. Okay, great.
So everything pretty much is done via that login screen, really.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay, so again, one thing I so appreciate in Velocity is that we're giving people endless options, aren't we? We're giving them dabble, try it out a little bit. Okay, you like this feature, get a whole bunch of that feature. Or if you want to try them all out, remember the bundle's $89 a month. Is that right? Now, what happens if at the end of the month you spend the $89? Can you decide you no longer want the bundle for some reason? Is that possible?
We need 60 days notice if you can jump out of the bundle.
Right. So again, if you, for some reason, everyone, if you decided it wasn't for you, or if you're leaving the industry or you're having a career change, again, we're giving people lots of options, and we just need a little bit of warning to end that bundle. But I just think I just love the respect level of giving us all of these options. I just think it works for anybody.
Yep.
That's great. What's next? So we did Easy Account Access. Right. We talked about eSign. What do you want to wow us with next?
Let's chat a little bit about Opto, just in the interest of there only being 15 minutes left, and I still really want to touch in on SMS. So we'll chat about Opto now. We have done a masterclass on Opto, so I'm not going to spend too much time. And we had Scott on board as well. So if you haven't checked that out, I would suggest you go and check out our masterclass on Opto, in which case a lot of questions that you may have will already have been answered in that. I just want to pop into it for just a moment here and just show you exactly where it can be useful. If you're in your subject property, once you find your property and you're happy with it, clicking on the validate option is going to not only pre-populate all the details about the property, clicking on it will give you an Opto report. Now, what that is, once you submit that, it's going to first tell you exactly or confirm your property. Once you go ahead and select it and validate it, it's going to pre-populate this. Not only do that, it will give you an Opto report. Now, I have a copy of a different Opto report just so that I can show you and pop that on screen for you to see as well. If I can just find that here, let me drag that over. This is an Opto report. So Scott does go into detail on this about these statistics and how this is actually derived and how they get this information. But this will be a great tool for you as well. So you get an idea of images. There's also a map as well. But again, with regard to details on this, Scott speaks in intensive detail in terms of this on that other masterclass. I won't spend too much time discussing. So I just wanted to show you what the Opto report looks like.
Really cool. So from a sales perspective, as an agent, where I can instantly see I would use this is if I get a call from someone where, let's say I have a transfer, they're coming up to renewal and they want to transfer from the lender they're with to the new lender. I didn't work on that deal. I didn't set them up originally. They went to a bank or they were with another broker and they're calling me to look after the renewal. It's quite fussy to sit there and say to a client, you know, what's the dwelling style? What's the square footage? It's just not a great use of the client's time. So this is a really perfect way to type in that address and click the button. And as you can see with the green boxes, all of those details are popping in. So this is just a really great way to use this. I absolutely love this. I have to admit, again, I haven't used this a ton. I'm working right now on a lot of transfers, but they're in my database. So they're my clients. So I already have the property details. So it's all about the kind of client base you have and also the kind of client base you want. But you want, if you have a new client coming to you where you didn't set up that original mortgage, Michael, I think this is a way to wow them. I think this is a way to go. I easily have access to the property details and, oh, hey, I see you live on, oh yeah, and your house is a 2-story and it's this, you know, the square footage is this. And you can just say that, you know, this is public knowledge and I'm able to quickly access it. I think that's a real wow moment for a sales moment when a brand new client calls you to talk about a transfer or a refi.
Absolutely. I would strongly at this point suggest that you do watch that video on Opto as well, the masterclass that we did on Opto as well. I would strongly suggest that. I will, and somebody said within the chat here that they can't find the video. It's on YouTube. I put it up. So I don't know if you want me to find it and send it in now. If you give me a moment, I could do that, or I could give you my email address and then you can pop it on. I can pop it on to you as well. But
yeah, is it going to be on the training page, Michael, the Opto video? Do you think?
No, it's on YouTube. I put it on YouTube. Okay. Erica needs to put on the training page.
Right. Yeah. So it's on the YouTube page, everyone, that Opto video. Okay. So you can just literally go to YouTube and type in a Newton velocity. And I actually, it's funny. I often go to the YouTube channel to watch velocity videos. Sometimes I go to our training page, but both works, right? So you could definitely find it there. And I just think it's a really cool feature for sure. And that report, that's really nice. And you're able to then really speak with intent and really speak with knowledge to that new client, right?
I sent everybody my email address. So if you can't find these things that we speak about, pop me an email and I'll send you a link to it.
Great. Thank you.
Cool. So that's really all I wanted to touch on there, and also just suggest there that you watch that video, because Scott will be able to answer questions such as the one with regard to Quebec. Are most properties on there? The answer is yes, but he goes into detail with regard to how those statistics are derived or whatever. Yeah, on that.
Really cool. Next.
All right, when will Opto be active in Velocity? It's active right now. You just click on the validate button and then we'll get you the Opto report from there. Just sign up for Opto and get the credits.
Oh, so again, this is also where we're going to say, like I said, oh, I can't, I don't see the easy account access. You guys, we have to choose to buy the credits first, and then you have the access, right, Michael? So you don't
Yes.
kind of get a test run. I want you all to be paying attention to what Michael's saying. You have to buy the credits or sign up for the $89 bundle. And then if you buy the credits, you get the test run. But I just don't want people to think that it's in the system already. You have to activate it essentially, right?
Yes.
Great.
Alrighty, so the last one, I guess, that we want to speak about here is NOA.
Yes, there's some exciting things coming in NOA too. Let's get into the NOA service.
Cool. So with NOA, you'll find that underneath the e-sign function I'll jump into this account. Oh wait, this one's blank. Let's do this one. So if you're going into your conditions and documents section and you pop on into your actions again, under your e-sign, you'll be able to request NOAs for either one of your applicants over there. So just go ahead and select which one. And obviously you got to purchase your NOA, but I'll get into a little bit. There's some interesting or exciting news about the credits over here. Now we have providers obviously for NOA, and obviously your client needs to provide that consent for us to pull those tax documents. So once I go ahead and go to actions and select my NOA, it will pop up and actually automatically create that placeholder for me. So it's simple and you don't have to wait for anything. All you do is you select your provider, select your language, and go ahead and pop on request NOA. You can change obviously your borrower over there on top. Once you request NOA, just click on request, add yourself as the agent and hit submit. And it's as simple as that. That will send over a document over to your client for e-sign, providing them with that consent letter. Once they send that, it will go over to the supplier immediately to pull those documents for you.
Okay.
And it's really as simple as that.
A couple of cool things here. Let's go back. I see someone say, can we just go back through that again? So what you're saying is you are adding, you're going to add the condition. You are going to actions. That action button is our best friend, isn't it? And we forget how powerful that little button is. That little button does so much. So Michael's clicking on actions. He's going down to request NOA consent. Okay. He's clicking on that. And you see all the little drop downs, easy NOA. And Michael, you're saying, and this part is just amazing to me. This is just popping right into the NOA company and they get your request immediately.
Yes,
right?
they do.
Wow.
So they will get the request, which they can sign. And that's the consent form that will open up, and they'll be able, obviously that will be on e-sign. Everything will be pre-populated. That will fire on off to them. Now, the good news over here is that will not use your e-sign credits. If you purchase the NOA credits, that's good enough. It will just use one NOA credit, but they can e-sign without you having to purchase e-sign credits.
I love that. So it is through e-sign, but you're not using every credits.
Yep.
Great stuff. Lee makes a really good note. I love this suggestion. Please be aware that your client's date of birth and SIN need to be populated in the app before sending the consent, or else the NOA company will send it back. So Lee, I love that. I think, here's what I feel as a salesperson, as a mortgage agent, I'm not offering the service to my client unless they're all in, unless they're committed to me and they're working with me. And I know in that I'm doing a formal, absolute document-driven pre-approval. But this is for me, this is not for a lead. I look at this is a client who's committed to working with me. This is a client who wants a proper and full complete mortgage pre-approval, or a client who has an application ready to submit to a lender. So you definitely want to have a complete app. I personally think, and each to their own, I personally think you really almost want to have a validated pre-approval ready to go before you're getting into offering this. I'm a big believer that we need to make some things easier for our clients, and we also need to make sure we have buy-in from our clients. So if we don't have their buy-in to actually be working with us, and we don't know their birth date or their SIN, I would definitely not be engaging in offering to collect an NOA for them, right? This is always a negotiation with our clients. How bought in are they? How committed to us are they? So that's a really good point from the sales perspective there.
Yeah. Again, guys, if I went a little, if you want me to go through this a few times or whatever, just log on to, I made a video of this exactly, pulling up an NOA consent and everything, how the client signed. It's a 2-minute video. And pop me an email if you want that video as well.
Michael, what if you want, okay, let's say I want 2020 and 2019. Can I choose 2018 and 2019? When I'm asking for the NOAs, do I get 2 years? Can I get 3 years? Can I choose the years?
I don't know the exact answer to that question because that'll be with the providers. I'll find that out for you.
Okay.
And get back.
How about this? Michael and I will post that answer probably into tomorrow. How about this on the Facebook page? We'll just make a little. We'll just post a little answer saying this has been asked, and we'll pop it on there.
I'll do that.
Great. Good stuff.
Alrighty, so we have the NOAs, and that's pretty much all I can say here with regard to NOAs or how I want to end off is I've made a video on this 2-minute video, and if you want to know how to do it, it's just a few steps. I'll pop you that video.
I have an exciting, I'm going to tell you something exciting. I think this is allowed. We're not going to get in any trouble today, Michael. We're going to tell all the good news stories coming our way. I believe it's coming soon that right now you're requesting NOAs through this system. Your client does the e-sign. The request is popping into the NOA company. Am I right that very soon those NOAs will pop back into the actual condition versus right now they're appearing in our email inboxes, but coming soon they will pop back into the condition?
Yes. So essentially that's the goal. Is we want everything to work via Velocity. So everything you want to do in Velocity, we don't want you to click out anywhere else. So that is coming soon. And I actually mentioned that at the end of the video as well. So
oh my gosh,
get excited for that.
So happy, Michael. People are just like, people want to dance. You have no idea the joy this brings us. Lee says that's amazing. And caps, I agree. You know, what Michael said is right. The goal, and the reason you all know I'm so passionate about Velocity, and I say it all the time, this is a place to run your entire mortgage world. This is a place to run your entire business. And the less that we have to leave Velocity to go fuss around with another system, login, passwords, jumping in and out of email. You all know I'm a big fan. Karen's got a happy face there. You'll know I'm a really big fan of also sending all of my emails out of Velocity. Right? All of our emails leave from Velocity. We store all of our documents in Velocity. We do all document requests in Velocity. I want my team to be working in this mortgage universe. And that leads us a little bit into SMS, right? What about texting? Let's just do the last couple of minutes on that if we have a few minutes.
Right. So we've done a masterclass on it as well. I've done a few sessions on it. So the first thing I want to do is promote my training. I do it on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Our time. So I've done it today. Jump on in there. And what I cover is mainly, the first section, I'm speaking about the benefits, which we've spoken about over and over and over. But basically, it's a great way to get that message outside of your email. It's much more personal and it's much more effective to use a personalized form of communication. We use a third-party company called Twilio, and we are having a separate number that's different from your cell phone number. So you don't have to scroll through your cell phone to find the client, then scroll through 30 text messages to find the actual message. It goes directly into the deal on Velocity under your contact sheet. So if you're looking for, and let's jump into James Corden. Let's jump into his account. So if I wanted to find James Corden and actually send him a text message, there's 2 ways that I can do this, either via his contact page or from the deal itself. If I jump into his contact page, which I will for a moment here, his cell phone number is on there. So under the activity section on the right-hand side over here, we have our SMS feature. And what we can do is pop an SMS. So if I'm still looking for a document, I've sent an email, still no response from it, I just pop a message over saying, I actually outlined the document in my last email. Could you get that through to me and contact me if you have any questions? That goes through as a text message on the phone. That pops over, it lights up. It's a lot different, a lot more personal than getting those messages. Statistically speaking, people read a text message within the first 3 minutes of getting it. They can respond directly from here, right? So you'll be able to see your message and you'll be able to see the response in here, and your entire communication will be within here. You can check on the date and you don't have to scroll through your text messages on the phone as well. That's the first.
So good. You guys, I know people are nervous about this one. We talked about this one in another masterclass. I am having so much success with SMS texting, particularly with leads. You know, when you have a name, email, and phone number, you maybe know who the referral source is. You haven't been able to get that client on the phone to do that warm phone call. You've maybe sent them an email and you're not getting any reply. I'm doing the 1-2 punch, Michael. You're going to be impressed. I'm sending out an email saying, hi, dear client. Thanks for connecting. Your realtor passed your name on. I'd love to help you with a mortgage pre-approval. As soon as I send that email, I pop in here to their lead and I go to SMS and I just say, hi, dear client. It's Julie from DLC Elevation Mortgage. I just want to let you know, I sent you an email. It's in your inbox. You can connect with me via email or you can reply to this text message. And I'd, love to chat further and help you with your mortgage application. So I'm using this as the 1-2, sometimes like Michael's saying, email can take days to respond to. If you work at a job and you're using your work email a lot of us, including myself, I have a Gmail for my personal. I don't even check the Gmail every day. And I don't have the Gmail on my phone. It's more like kids' dentist appointments and, things like that. For me, it's my hairdresser emailing me to remind me of an upcoming hair appointment. I don't check it all the time. I don't even have it on my phone. And so sending that quick text message to say, please check your email inbox, I just think is a great way to get results faster.
Absolutely. So Amy just asked if you get a text message saying you got a message or do you have to log into Velocity, you get this message is not connected to your cell phone number at all. Twilio gives you a number to work from, and that is connected to your Velocity account. But you don't have to log into Velocity to get that communication. You've connected your email to Velocity. So whatever email you connected in your settings here, when you went to settings, whatever email you have connected here, once it loads up, that email address will get the communication. So every time there's a text message from your client, you will get an email saying you have some kind of communication from the client in your email. So
yeah, I love that feature because Michael, instead of living our lives on this thing, right, which I run a business, this is also my personal cell phone. When I'm running my business, I really don't want to be running my business. I almost wish I had a landline. The days of that isn't possible, but I want to run my business via Velocity. And this is a way when the client replies to the text message, it's in your inbox. So yes, if you have your phone, you're going to have your Outlook on here or whatever email provider, and it's going to pop in. I also would be cautious. I do not feel that the SMS texting is for like immediate two-way communication. I'm not saying, dear client, please reply and tell me such and such. I'm saying, dear client, there's an email in your inbox, have a look. Or when you have a moment, check your email. I'm not so much saying, please give me intel and I'll give you intel. I think it's more of a reminder. This is the stage we're at. I'm also going to encourage everybody to save a few little stock SMS messages. So save little messages on a Word doc or your desktop or wherever, because you want little messages that say, this is Julie from DLC Elevation Mortgage. This is my text only. This is a text only number. You can save this number. I'm available on this number. This is what I say, from 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. So I don't want people thinking when they get that text message Saturday at 2 p.m, they're going to send me a text message. So again, you get what you ask for, you get what you present to the client, and just be really careful if in how you're presenting this.
Absolutely. So I just want to jump on in just because George asked you, will you be able to save the message within Velocity? It's saved within your contact page, like I showed you. And the second way that you can send messages is from the deal itself, from the conditions and documents section. So again, actions, our favorite button, the SMS features down at the bottom there. Click on that and you can send an SMS directly from here to any one of your clients. So you can go ahead and choose who is going to type your message out and just hit send from here. And where do you see this? It will be within the deal itself. So you can find it in the communication history over there, and you can see that's exactly the date.
Very cool.
That's great for compliance, right? To be able to
Yes.
see it, the communication there for
Well, for the first time ever, Velocity is allowing us as mortgage agents to use text messaging and truly be compliant. Your broker owner will find this acceptable. Your governing body in each province we're in will find this acceptable. You have an outbound record of the text and you have an inbound record of what the client's texting you. That's never been possible before. So I think this is an incredible feature. Someone commented on, I wish we could save those little snippets inside of Velocity. One of the things I love is those text shortcuts. Have you ever used those, Michael, where you can actually program, it's a little program and it's called text shortcuts. And you can just then use different commands and you can drop in text shortcuts that you've saved. So just look up in Google, just Google text shortcuts, because it's a way to save little bits of information and then you have a little list and drop in what you want. You can also set up workflows. So you can set up SMS workflows or email workflows. Those workflows have the stock information. That way, inside of Velocity, you can just open the workflow, grab that little snippet of text, cut and paste into the text message. So there's a lot of little hacks you can do to save some of this intel inside of Velocity.
And I cover some of that in the course as well when I pop on into workflows as well.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. Well, we're 3 at 1. We're 3 at 1, sir. We're probably coming up to time. I think we hit all the hot topics. I really loved some of your tips that you gave today. I think they're fantastic. And I just really think that it's time. The future is here, as I've said many times. We are all now very adept at the basic features of Velocity. You guys are doing great. You're submitting to lenders, you're using notes, you're getting into workflows, you're using tasks. Let's not be afraid. Let's keep going with our learning. And I know I have been avoiding easy account access. So Michael, I'm committing that I'm going to use easy account access and I'll be sharing my experience with that on the Facebook page as people are trying out new parts of the system and we're getting really brave with this. I want you to just pop on and share if you've had a real win and you're really finding a lot of value. We really appreciate the positive comments on the Facebook page. I know it's for questions as well, but I think it's fun to hear how people are doing. And I think if we're all trying these things together and we're sharing our knowledge, we're watching Michael's video content and all the training, it's going to make it really easy just to try something new, right? We can do it. Michael?
We can. Quick question, last question from Amy. Does Opto give property value in terms of the price of the property? The answer is no. It just gives the details on the property.
Yeah, no, it's not, it will assist though, let's be really clear, having fantastic property details and the correct details entered in your app are going to assist in you getting an AVM answer. So getting an automated valuation model answer and avoiding an appraisal. So no, it's not giving you the final value. That's different. Those are different kinds of systems. The city of Calgary where I'm in, you can go in the city of Calgary and figure out what they believe is the property tax assessed value. But if you're using Opta to really have a clean, clear, crisp, concise app with all the details, you're a heck of a lot more likely to have AVM pass and a heck of a lot more likely not to need a full appraisal, right? So thank you everyone for joining us today. I think that was a really great session. We did it, Michael. We basically interviewed each other. That was fun.
That was fun. That was new.
You're fantastic. Hey, you've learned so much. You're doing such a great job. We appreciate you and your training so much. Your team is extraordinarily good. And we want to remind people to go to the training page, go to the YouTube channel, just type in Newton Velocity, post and answer questions, share your wins on the Facebook page. And as always, we want to thank Jeff Willis and Kevin Deere, the inventors of Velocity. Seriously, it just blows my mind every time I'm in this system to go, I cannot even believe they invented something so amazing for our industry. It's so cool. And Michael and I appreciate your support, everyone, and joining us. And this will be recorded and on the YouTube channel if you want.
I'll do that right now, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Michael Masters. Great job. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thanks, everybody.
Guys, have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.